Hi Christian, welcome back to Monza. How is the weekend going on so far?
Yeah, it's going well so far, apart from the weather, which is not so good. So it was a bit difficult to test something in the second session because it was half dry, half wet. But considering that, it was okay, and Monza is always a nice track to come back to. It's a high-speed track, which is a lot of fun to try.
And tomorrow is the weather is probably is good. So how is the track with not wet condition but dry condition?
It's with dry condition, it's good. Obviously, it's a little bit cold, so it's almost autumn now. So you have a lot of leaves on the racetrack, which makes it sometimes a bit difficult. But in general, especially the Mercedes works well around here. High-speed track is usually a lot of fun to drive.
What do you think about this track? I mean, do you have any thought, do you remember something special?
I mean, first of all, Monza has a great history. It's a racetrack that's very, very long in the racing world, but also in the Formula One world. I raced here in Formula One, and since then I always love to come back here, especially because you have these very high speeds that you have on no other track, which is a lot of fun. Plus the racetrack is very narrow, so you feel the speed even more. And it has on the paper it has a simple layout, but it's very tricky because you need to make sure the braking curves are perfect. You need to make sure your exits are good to get a lot of speed onto the straight. So in the end, it's a very technical and difficult racetrack.
How do you approach this track? You raced here with the Formula One, with the GT, I think also with the Le Mans, Blancpain. So how do you change the approach to this track or not?
It's mainly the braking points and the speed of the cars. A GT car is compared to Formula One car or Le Mans car relatively heavy, less power of course. So with a more heavy car you have to be more patient, especially through the chicanes. You have to give time to the car to react to your steering input. So it's sometimes easy to overdrive a GT car, and that's the main difference basically.
Okay. And how is the feeling of driving without any fans, without audience? Is it the same for you as you are inside the car, or does it change?
Of course, it's much nicer if you have fans, first of all around the paddock, but also on the grandstands. You can see them, you feel it as well, especially ahead of the race and after the race. Once you drive, you're totally focused and you don't actually see or know how many fans there are around the track. So in that respect, it's not a difference, but it's more the ramping up to the race, before the race, that you don't get the atmosphere of the fans.
Okay, thank you. Can you greet our Monza in Pista fans, please? Monza in Pista.
Monza in Pista, yeah? Hello, this is Christian Klien, and I hope you have... Oh, wait.
let's try again. Chuck two.
Yes. Hello, this is Christian Klien, and I want to say ciao to Monza in Pista.